Welcome back to Tampa Bay's Morning Blend. Well, in my house, I know my husband had to change up his workout regimen and is actually spending a lot of time on his bike. And he's not alone. In fact, we're seeing that all over the country, especially here in the Bay Area. That's why we wanted to welcome in our friend Angela from Fred Pinellas, the principal planner, to give us an idea of how much of an increase we're seeing and most importantly, how we can stay safe. Angela, how are you today?
Doing great, thanks. Thanks for having me today, Natalie. I'm excited to talk about Fred Pinellas. We are the Metropolitan Planning Organization here in Pinellas County, and we conduct long-range transportation as well as land use planning initiatives. And one of our factors that I specialize in is active transportation as well as equity. So in regards to active transportation, we've seen this really great increase in cycling and walking during the pandemic.
We keep hearing from, I think, like bike shops and places that do sell bikes, how they can't get your hands on one right now. You're seeing this from another standpoint. You're seeing the population on the trails increase. What have you guys noticed?
Yes, exactly. So beginning in March, we started to see this uptick, but really what's been surprising is in May, we had a 134% increase in trail users, and that equated to over 160,000 people on the trail. And that's a huge increase from the prior year, and technically over 152,000 people more in the month of May on the trail. Even
Whoa.
though the weather was hot, people were out biking and walking and running.
That's crazy numbers there. I know you said there was an increase, and when you hear percentages is one thing, but to hear 106,000 more people. But of course, the key there, we're taking a look at a woman taking a drink there. It can be hard this time of year, especially in Florida. Let's go over some things that people can do to maybe stay safe, or maybe people just need some reminders to do so before hitting the trail.
Absolutely. Thanks, Natalie. That's so important. In June, we still saw 108% increase in people using the trail. So there's still, a couple of 100,000 people out there every month utilizing the trail. With it being hotter and here in the summer months, it's really important that people are aware and cognizant of heat exhaustion and its symptoms. And just a few tips that you can find on the CDC website that I would like to share with you today are to essentially keep three things in mind: stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay informed. So go out and exercise if you're going to in short increments, early in the day or later in the day. Wear light clothing. Remember that hydration is an ongoing process. It's not just during your outdoor recreation. You want to hydrate days prior to actually going out in the heat. And stay informed. Keep your eye on Tampa Bay news that indicates that the weather, if it's extremely warm days outside, it might be better for indoor recreation.
I have to remind my husband of that once in a while when he'll want to still get that workout in. But the last point I want to talk with you about, of course, more people on the trails. I think at first people look to the trails as a way to social distance. What are some things people need to keep in mind, not just because of summer, but because of the pandemic that we're dealing with?
Yeah, thanks, Natalie. That's important as well. Right now, we've had over 1.2 million people on the trail this year. And with that amount of people, you want to make sure that you're staying safe by social distancing. And what that really means is, taking your bike ride alone, running alone. If you do choose to go out on a bike ride with somebody from your own household, try to run in a parallel line. What we've seen is that there's a lot of people on the trail and people get a bit congested at intersections. So just be careful and stay 6 feet behind, even if that means that you have to take a little bit longer to cross through an intersection. A couple other tips is, of course, bring your hand sanitizer. And, in addition to staying 6 feet from people, just be cognizant of if you're sick, to stay home and to not go out until you feel better.
You know what? Maybe there are people at home that already know this, but all of those tips, good reminders. And it's also been so nice to get to learn about Fred Pinellas. Where can people go to stay up to date on all of the great work you are doing in Pinellas County?
Please visit the fordpinellas.org website. You can access information about outdoor recreation, transportation planning, long-range planning, and all the great initiatives that Fred Pinellas is working on right now.
Good stuff. By the way, great shot, Angela. You look fabulous. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much, Natalie. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. And we hope you stay right there because the show continues on the other side of this break.